Hey, did you ever have one of those days where you're like, hey, this is going to be a pretty easy, straightforward day. It's going to be a lot of mileage. So I live in downtown Pittsburgh. I drove an hour east to Jeanette, where I am from, where my garage is. Left my car there, Ubered up here to Gibsonia, Pennsylvania to Blackout Tinning. Picked up the Bronco. Go to start it. The fuel pump is going on this. It's leaking. The line needs replaced. Just not safe to drive. I mean, it starts, it runs fine, but I don't want it to barbecue itself or hurt anyone, including me. So instead, had them fire up the 85 Pontiac 6000. I was going to get this one tomorrow. So it starts, it runs, I've been idling it for 25 minutes. I got about a half hour until the tow truck driver comes. I'm gonna have this fixed. I'm gonna get it down to my house in Pittsburgh, and my friend come over, look at it, and we can get it and get a couple things maybe done to it before it is time to drive it out to Jeanette. I was out in Jeanette today because they're putting electrical service to my garage. I'll have heat, air conditioning, all that good stuff, and should be in great shape. This one is a little bit, it's a nice car. It's like a 20-foot car. It's a really nice car. So I'm kind of going through the thought process in my mind. Do I leave this alone? Do I try to buff it, make it look as pretty as possible? Do I put money into it? I don't know. I still have some mechanical sorting to do on this. The interior is beautiful. The exterior is solid. There's only two little things on here. This has a little bit of surface corrosion, no perforation, but I want to have that fixed. And I don't know how much of do I want to do a full repaint on this, is what I'm getting at. I don't know, but the paint is really bad. I mean, up close, it's nice for like a 20-foot car, but I don't know, like if I go down the rabbit hole, I go down the rabbit hole. So I don't know. I have a little bit of mechanical stuff to do to this car. I have to get the emission system back together correctly on it, so it'll idle better from startup. But it is almost a 40-year-old car. I do have a brand new front grille for this, so I could have it like all this new and everything nice. And I mean, this is solid and everything like that. But this is one of those things where, how far down the rabbit hole do I go? The cool thing with this one is mechanically is all I want to do is make sure this is mechanically fine. This is an imperfect vehicle, but this is such a cool imperfect vehicle. With trucks, you can kind of get away with it. Can you get away with it with this? Yeah. It just depends on what I'm looking at to do, what I think I want to do with it, or do I just leave well enough alone with this? The problem is sometimes I don't know when to leave well enough alone. This one's fun. This one is original. This one is a survivor. This one, and that one is too. But what's cool with a truck like this, it's almost like it's sacrilege to kind of restore a vehicle like this to make it perfect. Oh, well, let's repaint this. No. And I just don't know if that transfers to this, because quite frankly, there's there's tons of restored Broncos. There's not very many of these, period. And I know you're thinking like, okay, so what? But no, this is a wonderful, fun car. I learned to drive on a car very close to this. This car has some really interesting options. Full gauge package. I did about a year and a half ago when I bought this. Did a video on this. But this has a 4-speed automatic and a console, a power seat, the 2.8 liter carbureted V6. The STEs were fuel injection, and yet I believe they were all, or mostly all, 3-speed automatics. So it's just a weird car. I don't know who would have bought a car combo like this, but I'm glad they did, because it is one heck of a really beautifully preserved car. This is all the unobtainium stuff that, your colored keyed seat belts, your Palex cloth, or this might be crushed floor. I forget how there's nomenclature, apologies to younger viewers, there's stuff like this was the up level. LE was the limited edition, luxury edition, whatever you called it, but it was an LE, and the LEs were like more along the lines of a little posher, for lack of a better phrase. Having the whole gauge package, it's kind of a weird equipment. Normally if you want luxury, you didn't think a console, you didn't think this, but this has it, and that's what's really cool about this. I would have bought this as a base model car, but having it with these additional options, these are pretty gauges at night. These are actually in some ways prettier than the digital STE gauges. These are like 3 colors. You got your orange, your yellow, your green, and it's just, and the backlit red. So there's lots of colors. The original radio is at home. It's going to be sent out and rebuilt. Just noticed that the air conditioning vents don't blow. It just comes out. It's basically all like up here, so I have to dive into the dash and see what's going on. If there's a duct that is not working, this is where you go down the rabbit hole mechanically sorting one of these cars. So the question I have then will be, how far do I want to go with the body, or do I source the mechanical stuff first, and then I know that okay, I have X amount into the car, and it makes sense for me to do the body and stuff. But the problem is I have a good body guy that can do this, and he's reasonable, and he wants to do this. And I was just having this discussion this morning about other things, like you have rental properties and you have a network of people that help you, a trusted plumber, stuff that I can't do, or I don't have time to do. It's good to have people that that can do every one of those things, and you never know if they're going to retire. And that's what I'm thinking like right now. The guy's like my age, so like, if you're successful in your business, you're my age, you might be thinking about an early retirement. You never know. I'm mid-50s, but there are people that realize that, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, then I'm really out of luck, because I won't find anyone to do what I need to get done with this. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to have him take a look at it, and my friend who's a mechanic take a look at the mechanical stuff, and I'm going to get a better idea of what's going on with this Pontiac 6000. It's a nice solid car. It's got good bones. It only has 53,000 miles on this car. It was owned by an older lady, and I have information on her, and then the trail kind of goes cold. Who I bought it from, there was like 2 or 3 buyers in between. And sometimes with these Pontiacs, or these A bodies, these GMs, they'll sometimes like go with one person. They'll look at it and they're like, I like this, but I want this kind of car instead. And then these cars will end up having multiple buyers sometimes, because like, oh, it's nice, but it's not exactly what I want. But this is such a nice car that it just happened to be an hour away from me, and I knew the guy who was selling it, and it was kind of meant to be. So I've ignored this car for over a year, and that ends now. As I wait for the tow truck to take that to get some definite mechanical sorting done. And as you can see, one of the 2 front shocks on there, that vehicle is just fun. That vehicle is so much fun as it is. I don't know if I want to enjoy this as it is or make it better and do something stupid by doing that. So right now, I don't know which direction I'm going to go with it, but I do want this as a running, driving, real car. And I'm going to see what my options are. And once I do, I will let you guys know, because 2025 will be the year of the Pontiac. This car turns 40, and it's going to be out there on the road, and it's going to be enjoyed. And here's something weird. Front window. So the front windows, and it's so counterintuitive when you have to kind of like remember when you're in this car that they do this differently. Instead of the normal left front, right front, left rear, right rear, just the way they oriented this is just weird. And look, cool. I have my circa car wash 1970s 80s Pontiac 6000 keychain on the suede. I mean, this was like everyone had these keychains back then. They're so cool. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I didn't plan on getting this car today, but you know what? Things happen for a reason. I'm a firm believer in that, and this is going to kick me in the rear to start getting this together the way I want it, because this is a special car, and I can't wait to enjoy it, share it with people, and you know, at shows and things like that, and have fun with it. As always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, communicate. If you're into these, check out some of the other weird stuff. If you're into all my other weird stuff and you stumbled onto this, yeah, I have Celicas, a Corvette, and a Bronco, as you saw, and I have a penchant for Pontiac 6000s. But hey, we all have our fun. So have a great day.